The amazing rock samples I've gathered through the years and used on tons of demos and records. Nice, Sumner. Really nice. Next on Music Surgery with Dr. Bob. Even though plugins have gotten better over the years and I've become a better mixer, the samples to my rock kit have virtually stayed the same, and it's one of the best sounding kits I've ever heard. Gretsch toms, a DW kick, and a Tama Bell brass snare. I can't recall which studios these actual samples were taken from, as they were all from different recording sessions, but I can tell you that I've had great luck with these samples on Shinedown, Drowning Pool, Reba McEntire, Hailstorm, Papa Roach, Three Doors Down, Tim Finn, Saliva, and many more. Let's take a look at this incredible rock kit and how it's literally like no other drum set.
All right, you guys. So it would take a ton of time and a ton of money to get these kind of sounds in a studio. So I've gotten these kind of sounds in the studio. These are my sounds, but it's important to get them at home because lots of times we're in a hurry or we don't have that kind of time and money. So here's what I've got. Let me play it for you. To me, that's an amazing sounding kit. It's got rock elements. It's got pop elements. You can be used in a variety of situations. Now, what you're hearing, I've got no extra EQ. I've got no extra dynamics, limiting, nothing on it. Everything's dry. That EQ right there is just on the hi-hat that I programmed to go along with this because we're mainly talking about kick, snare, and three toms and the rooms they're in. But there's a compressor and an EQ on that's bypassed, and I'm going to show you later. But that's the sounds I use every time, and I twist and turn and mangle or whatever I need to do to them to fit the song that I'm working on. And it's great to have these kind of go-to sounds right away so you're not hunting around for the right kind of sound or whatever to start a song. I can put these up and boom, I'm ready to start programming and get into the song. So what we've got here, I've got the dry sounds, which are kick and three toms, tom 1, tom 2, and tom 3. They sound like this. Then each one of the dry sounds has two rooms, room 1 and room 2. Room 1 in each of the sounds sounds like this. Room 2, which I believe is Ocean Way, Nashville, on each of the sounds like this. All together. Okay, you see what I've done here. I've just made a groove on the grid, locked these to the grid, and if I wanted to make that groove go 4 more bars, I could. So that's one way of making a groove with this stuff, pasting to the grid. Kind of like the old school way where you take these samples, if it was a live drummer, and put those under the live drummer. I'm kind of making this groove to the grid. Now, the unique thing about this is each instrument, the kick, the snare, and all three toms, has 2 rooms to each instrument. So what makes this so cool is, here's the snare, snare room 1, snare room 2. Now, if I want to just go to snare room 2, compress and EQ that, that doesn't affect any of the other snare room 2s in the toms or the kick, just the snare room 2 on the snare. Now, I can do this on anything. I can mangle, destroy, compress, EQ any dry signal, any room 1 or any room 2 without it affecting any other dry signal, any other room 1 or any other room 2. That's a ton of versatility. Not sure that I've seen other kits that you can really do that with, and it really makes a difference when you've got a song that's really dense and you need to pop out, say, the high end of a snare room. But you don't want that to pop out in the room of the toms or the kick. So, you know what I'm saying? Lots of versatility. Now, for those of you that don't like to program by pasting samples on the grid, I've pulled them into Intact, an old school Native Instruments sampler. Those are my dry sounds. Here's my room 1. And here's my room 2. Obviously, in a sampler, I can manipulate the samples, volume, pan, tuning, whatever. And I've made the same groove in the sampler. Now, if you don't have Intact or you have other samplers that you like to use, here is Battery. Battery is a Native Instruments sampler, and I've just pulled the samples in here. Here's the kick, the snare, say Tom 1. For some reason, it automatically wants to put reverb and delay on them. Tom 2. And so forth and so on. I could put the dry sounds here, the room 1 here, and the room 2 there. Now, the other unique thing about this is if you're programming sounds, you can program cool things between the dry and the wet, like so. This. So, in a combination of dry and room sounds, and even using, here's a kick drum room with a snare drum room at the end of it, you can get lots of cool and different sounds that don't make sense in the real world, but are awesome for different parts of the song that just sound cool and fresh. Okay, so that's just one quick groove example. I mean, it can go on and on and on from there. But to have all of these possibilities between dry sounds and room sounds and to be able to do it that fast has really, really helped me. I start every song with this drum set, unless it's like a serious like 808 kind of rap song. But this is my country, rock, pop, everything main kit. And I know that in the end, this is all going to mix well and sound great. If I need to enhance the snare in the chorus to make it bigger, I'll just pull another sample in with these. But a great way to sound like $1,000,000 without spending it.
Well, there you have it, my prized sample kit. And now, it's yours. Yeah, I debated this one pretty hard, but if I'm letting every secret out of the bag that I know, then I'm letting this one out too. There's a link in the description of this video, and it's actually pay what you want. But these samples were recorded in millions of dollars of incredible rooms with expensive mics and mic pre's and compressors and expensive engineers. So please, do what you can. Okay, that's it for this week. Parting with my samples is such sweet sorrow. But I trust they'll be in good hands. Send me your tracks with them pounding away so I can hear your work. As always, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you the next time the doctor's in.